We're here in Woodstock, Vermont, at the world headquarters of Fine Paints of Europe, and I've asked John Leahy, who runs everything here, is the backbone of the company, as part of their team, to answer a few questions that I have and a lot of people have about just colors. Fine Paints of Europe, clearly there's a reputation for the quality of the material, the durability of the material. But one thing people don't know, besides that, early on, the whole thing with custom colors was kicked off with Martha Stewart and her relationship with Fine Paints of Europe.
Right.
But I'd like you to talk on your own freely about, everybody, names like Guggenheim, Pantone. There's a long run of it. You guys are all over magazines, and a lot of it is about color. And from my perspective, there's people are trying to create like their own color fan, and
Yep.
you guys are dealing with these name brands that have. I mean, Pantone on its own is like
It's
bigger
huge.
than the paint industry.
Right. We're very proud to have and be partnered up with some very significant players in the industry. Some of those relationships are product driven because of the quality of the materials themselves. Some of it is entirely color driven because we're able to achieve colors that most paint manufacturers cannot achieve because
Of the 12 colorants.
Because of our tinting system. Because we don't use universal tinting colorants, we use product-specific colorants. So, and that's why, really Pantone came to us. It wasn't because we're nice people, we're up in beautiful Woodstock, Vermont. It wasn't because, yes, it was the quality of the coatings, I'm sure helped. But more than anything, it was our ability to hit their colors. Because Pantone is color, right? It's the backbone of what their whole industry, why they're in business. And so what we do and what they care about is the accuracy of their colors.
Where's that Pantone one? Emmett. And oh, here, this is the page right here. I don't know why it's torn out. Is it? I think it was Blue Shadow.
Right.
Was the test color that Pantone sent after other companies had not gotten it done.
Right.
It was Emmett, right?
It was. It was Emmett. They sent us. Basically, that was kind of our interview with them. They said, we've heard something about your tinting system. Don't tell us. Show us. And we were able to achieve a much higher level of and tinting accuracy and to hit their colors than any other manufacturer was. And I'm sure we can.
I've heard that. Well, the guy that does the custom colors here at Fine Paints, like for example, when a large company like the Gap or Anthropology says, we have a custom color, we want a custom color. Those are sent to Emmett, who's describing to me the process that Pantone went through, as sort of the audition. Mm-hmm. He told me that the colors that you had, they put under 5 different lights.
They do, and they still continue to do that. For them to allow us to give a formula to a store, they have to christen that color first. So any formula that is in our software at a retailer has been inspected and viewed under 3 or 4 or 5 different lights. Because it's the backbone of their industry, it's the backbone of their whole corporation, their company, everything has to be perfect. So that's why we're so pleased to be teamed up with, Pantone because of color. So it's been a great relationship for both of us.
So how are you associated with Guggenheim? That's a coup d'etat.
It doesn't get any bigger for us. We're so proud of our relationships with all of our relationships that we have. But that is, as far as relationships, it doesn't get much better than that. Everybody knows the Guggenheim Museum all over the world. In Manhattan, it's pretty much, if you're into museums, it's the first one you're going to go see. So it's been fantastic. So they have 2 fan decks in collaboration with us.
Yep, their colors and they're off-whites, right?
That's correct. And we can get the other. Oh, look right on top of the shelf there.
I can also superimpose.
So they have two fan decks. They have the classic, which is derived actually from the art itself. And then they have another one called the Gallery Collection, which is the actual colors of the museum that the art sits on inside, the walls of the actual museum. And that is the Gallery Collection.
So Woody, since I know a little bit about these, I want you to really explain that there are some color fans out there that people just put them together and say, hey, these are the Southeast colors. When you actually say they did the artwork,
yes. So this is somebody actually went around to their art in the museum itself and held up color chips of different pieces, and this is what this deck was actually derived from. This one
was this driven by the Guggenheim, or was this an idea from your color team?
That was them. That was all them. I mean, I'd like to take credit for it, but I have to give credit where credit's due.
Is that available in their gift shop there?
Oh yeah, of course. Yep. Or you can call us. And then this is the gallery colors. So this is the all the colors that you will see in the art is sitting on the actual walls themselves, which is kind of like off-whites. Colors that will complement their art, obviously. So,
is that a selection of colors that had already existed at the Guggenheim for a couple decades?
Good question. I really don't know the answer to that. This is probably just a rotating array of colors. I'm sure, like all museums, they're constantly painting, so this has just been
I know that
fantastic.
when these had gained some traction, not these so much, because I think when a colorist has their, or interior design has their colors, they have their system. But I'll tell you, when this had gained some traction, it became popular. The grays and the
well, as you know, grays are so hot right now. Everything goes with them. But on cabinetry, on walls, and everything, we're seeing a real resurgence in very light grays, almost like a silver. And I'm sure you're probably seeing the same thing out in Seattle.
Well, the instant credibility with this deck is that most designers that we work with already know what the Guggenheim looks like, and so what I was saying before, these colors are like colors that they would prescribe, but what drew them to this was, oh, that was the color on the wall that made that piece of artwork look
right, make it pop.
And yeah, that's the strength, really, from my side,
right,
of the colors.
And this is push comes to shove. People always go back to what they know, which is off-whites.
Yeah. So
that's why this is now actually our biggest selling color tool, because it does offer a lot of off-whites, creamy whites, really soft, muted colors. But when people are feeling a little bit more adventurous, they'll go to this.
Woody, can we go to the Wayback Machine?
Sure.
This is the Wayback Machine. So any designer, and certainly all paint dealers,
right,
know what this size is, and know that when these came out, they blew everybody out.
We were really probably the first company to offer chips of this size, and definitely the first people to charge significant money for them. But we had to. We're a small company. We could never produce fan decks of this size and simply give them away to everyone. So it was really Martha Stewart's insistence that they be large, and it was our insurgents' insistence to charge for them. So, but
the Arcana colors were the first.
They were
first.
No, it was Colors of the Garden, Arcana, Skylands, and then Lily Pond. But it was really the Arcana that even today. The
teals and the blues.
That are still being used today, and were totally revolutionary. And you saw them in everything, in print advertising. You saw it in every trade magazine was using those colors.
There's a few designers in Los Angeles and Seattle that still have their original.
Oh, I'm sure.
Even though they're dogged, they're clipped.
I know.
And they're folded up at the edges. They're paper clips.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, can you give me another one? And so I give them one that's not like their original. And they're like, that's
right.
They said, that's the same colors.
Yeah, I know. And so this is today. Martha Stewart has been a huge supporter of ours, and she was absolutely fantastic for our little company.
So I see that you've kept the same size, so that and the ring, so they can be taken out, so people can be familiar.
Yep.
I know that there's a lot of buzz about there are lots of different things, but I want you to talk about the Susan Sargent?
Susan Sargent, she has the lights and the brights collection. Not all of the fan. We don't have all the fan. Obviously, all the fan decks here right now. But actually, here's the lights right here. The brights are just that, very strong colors. They're not for everyone, but this one, the lights collection, a lot of people really like this. Children's rooms, powder rooms, they're just really nice, soft colors that you can almost be used really anywhere. And so we do a really good job with those, and that's been a nice relationship for us as well.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Woody. Why, out of all the different paints out there, why would someone, as a colorist, really as famous, has the history and the gravitas as Susan,
Right.
she would choose to use you guys?
Well, she's also a Vermonter, so we, I think there was definitely, we wanted to, support each other, and again, it was back to the tinting system and the quality of the paints. So it was very much three things that she really found fascinating about our company. The tinting system, so again, we could achieve colors that most people couldn't give her. With any other product other than ours, that's going to be 4 or 5 coats to cover.
For any colorist, it's important for color accuracy, but not only do I prescribe color, I deal with color, but I'm looking at some of these. And certainly anybody can print a color deck.
Right.
But I know that I've used some of these. I know that they're accurate in the paint.
Right.
Which ones were the hardest? Were not the hardest. Which ones were the most important to her?
This collection
The origin reds.
Yeah, without question. When you think Susan Sargent, it's definitely this fan. And when you would go into her shop or you see her rugs, because that's really where
everybody's crazy about her lines.
Yeah, these are the colors that you really think of with Susan Sargent, or the limes, the strong reds, the raspberries, and they really just do really work well together. You look on this, you think one thing, but actually in practice, when you see it up, it's really quite striking.
So, Woody, thanks. I know that you guys are probably not working on getting a lot more color lines. I know you do a lot of work in the color field with,
Right.
with people with like the Gap and Airmax
Right.
and other. Come on in. And everybody wanting color accuracy for their corporate identity. What do you see as far as the future of Fine Paints of Europe and your position in apparel, fashion companies, designers, seeing you guys as like the color accurate team?
Right. Well, that's we're tracking to have the best year that we've ever had.
Congratulations.
We are, more and more magazines, more and more designers are using us all the time. We're bringing better painters into our fold every year because they see, that's what they're leaving behind is their paint job. What's more important than the end result is the paint job, and that's why we're in business. But our relationships with all these people, whether it's Hermes, Pantone, Guggenheim, the Gap, New Balance, Victoria's Secret, it's been a really nice niche for our operation, and it's a lot of fun dealing with them. And we're always there to help them out and bend over backwards for them. When they need paint, we're there for them, and we'll get it to them. Whatever we have to do.
Woody, thanks for answering some questions.
No problem. Thanks a lot, John. Thanks for coming out.